this is as basic as it gets. The price point of this though, 3 eyeshadows for 21,000 won. And it's like two of my most favorite things to come together. And also, do we see that at the back over there? That has been a problem. The big question is, will I survive if I don't own any of these items? And I know this comes on the heels of me criticizing the Clio lip and cheek product, Fwee's one and Clio's one. Between the two, I would actually go for Fwee's one, because if you're a K-beauty fanatic, you will know that K-beauty brands around the fall-winter season will start to really bring their A game and release a lot of makeup that is cooler in concept as well as more experimental in color stories. So I'm super excited to share with y'all what's new in K-beauty, and without further ado, let's get into it and start yapping. Let's start off with Espoir. Espoir has released these new palettes called the iCore palettes. There are 4 of them. There are Posh Coral, Vintage Nude, Geek Grey, and Savage Mauve. Now these are, well, 9-pan eyeshadow palettes with 3-pan face powder products. So kinda you can just use it as a multi-purpose product, and you can tell that they're going for the whole personal color, season tone kind of thing, one for spring, summer, fall, winter respectively. And honestly, the reason why I want to talk about this as well is because I think they kind of switch it up a little bit better, in a sense where the color isn't just pastel-y oranges, corals, pinks, berries, that kind of thing. I think you've seen color stories like that through and through with a lot of K-beauty brands, but this one actually looks pretty unique, and the one that has my heart, my eyes on, I think would either be Savage Mauve or Geek Grey, obviously the cool tone ones. I think the colors really stand out to me, especially in Savage Mauve. You can see there's this gunmetal dirty grey shimmer shade, and then next to it there's this khaki brown kind of color. And obviously there's a lavender purple, which I'm like, ooh, purple. I like purple. I love purple eyeshadows. So yeah. And sometimes what I like to do when it comes to new eyeshadow releases is that I'll try and cover certain shades to see if does it look like a sea of pastels again, or is it just repetitive colors duping one another inside the palette itself. This one, I think if you cover up maybe the central quad, like the purple, khaki green, gunmetal, and the dusty rose, the top row kind of looks kinda similar to one another, like the 2 pastel pinks. But if not, I think it looks pretty okay, acceptable. For Savage Mauve, you can tell that this is meant for summer palettes, but at the same time, it's not too pastel. Now for Geek Grey, this one you can tell is the winter palette. A lot of high contrast, cool tones, very stark differences in the shadows themselves. You have this white shimmer in the middle, and then you have a very dark matte brown. Love that. This color story, not gonna lie, it does remind me of the Rom and Kuromi palette. It reminds me of this, but I feel that the magenta in this palette is really, really strong. It's so much more pigmented compared to this pink over here. So that's why I feel like Geek Grey actually looks really nice, and they have those cool tone browns. I love this palette. I love how Geek Grey actually looks like. Low-key, I kind of want it, but I don't really wear eyeshadow nowadays. I'm not even wearing eyeshadow today because I was rushing out the door just now for something. So yeah, I didn't even wear eyeshadow. So I really don't need it. Maybe as a Christmas treat myself, end of the year kind of thing, maybe, but honestly, I have so much eyeshadow. I really want to get back into doing eyeshadow and more dramatic looks. Recently, I've been experimenting with a lot of eyeshadow, and you guys have seen it as well. So I think, you know what? I can take a pause on this and try and show some love to my other eyeshadow palettes first. For number 1, Posh Coral, you can tell that this is meant for spring season tones, and honestly, I don't think I would wear colors like this. I've very quickly realized that oranges, corals on me just don't look good, so everything pulls very orange on me, so that's why I will stay away from colors like this. And for Vintage Mute, actually, I kind of like this one. It's kind of like that toned down, dusty pink, a little bit of fall vibe. It does remind me of one more eyeshadow palette. Wait, it does remind me of this eyeshadow palette, the Autumn Breeze in Soul Forest palette over here. I think the Espoir one looks a little bit more less saturated, a little bit more toned down. This one is pretty saturated. I mean, just based on pictures. So I don't know. I mean, it's cute, but I don't need it because I already have this palette over here. Espoir is also releasing a new makeup product type, and it's called their Tone Pairing Liquid Cheek, and there are 5 shades. Number 1 is Peachy Puri. Number 2, Soothing Pink. Number 3, Serenade. Number 4, Persimmon. Number 5, Rose Bunny. Yeah, sorry, I'm reading off Espoir's Instagram page. The Konglish is strong. I'm trying my best. Okay, sorry if I get anything wrong. So there are 5 shades, and you can see on the color chart they have something for everyone that is light, deep, cool, warm. And honestly, I'm quite surprised to see that a lot of K-beauty brands coming out with liquid cheek products. I think the one that is like more noticeable for liquid cheek products were like Muse's liquid cheek as well as House of Her. Those 2 brands, liquid cheek products, are like really prominent. By the time this goes live, I think it will be available, but it's only available on the Naver brand store. So I guess it's some sort of exclusivity for now, but it will get to OLIVEYOUNG, YESSTYLE eventually. Based off the photos that I'm seeing on Winter, the product itself looks really glowy, dewy, supposed to give you the glass skin. I guess it's kind of fitting as well. Normally when the season turns colder, a lot more glowier cheek, glass skin, luminous skin kind of look. Those kind of makeup will usually wear slightly better in winter season as well. If given a chance, I would love to try the shade number 3. I think it's kind of almost neutral but leaning slightly cool tone, and it's not too warm, not too cool, not too light, not too deep. But honestly, based off K-beauty beauty standards, I think it will still pull pretty light. It looks super 3-dimensional. The glow on it is next level. They also did release new shades of their Couture lip tint glaze. I think it's 4 new shades. Number 9, Petal Punch. Number 10, Pinky Loki. Number 11, Under Mauve. And number 12, Butter Bell. Now, I've heard a lot of good things about this particular lip tint. A lot of people seem to like it. I only own 1 lip tint from Espoir, and it's the Velvet line. But this Couture lip tint glaze actually looks really pretty. It's more of that, glassy lip kind of look to it. Every brand under the sun has a glassy lip tint now. I do like the colors of this though. They look a little bit more muted as compared to what the original colors that they had online. It's nice to see something a little bit more muted for the My Lips But Better days. Sometimes you don't want to have something too dramatic on your lips. So I think this fits pretty well. And the color that I probably would go for, it's either number 9 or number 11. I'm a basic girl sometimes, really. Actually, looking at the swatches of it, it does look pretty pigmented. Oh my gosh, like the color pigmentation is no joke. We'll see how it goes. I'm really on a low buy right now because I really do not need any more new makeup for sure. This next one is stinking adorable, okay? And it's from Dasique. It's the My Bear collection. Look at it. Look at it and say it's not cute. Oh my gosh. I love it. I know it might look a little bit kiddish, but I like to believe I'm a little bit childish at heart. A little bit of the, youthful spirit, I guess. And also, do we see that at the back over there? That has been a problem. I love plushies. I love soft toys. And it's like 2 of my most favorite things to come together. I've been like, oh my gosh, I need it. I want it so badly. But do I really need it though? no, like there's the rational, financially responsible adult telling me that no, Crystal, you do not need this, alright? For the My Bear collection, you have 2 of the shadow palettes, 2 mood blending cheeks, as well as 2 lip and cheek palettes. Okay, from what I've seen online is that the textures of the mood blending cheek, it's more of like a soft, putty, like pressable kind of texture. So it's not a baked formula or flat matte. It's actually kind of like a cream to powder formula, I think. Don't quote me on that. I'm trying to find the image online right now. I can't seem to find it. But yeah, I saw a video of it being like a soft putty texture. If you were to purchase the collection itself, they do give you like a little sponge applicator. For some reason, I thought that the original lip and cheek palette were bigger in size. But actually they're the same. They are both 9 pan. But I guess this one looks to me like more practical as well because it's a square. The OG one looked a lot bigger and just looked like it had a lot of shades. They're both 9 pans, so I stand corrected on that. But if I had the choice, obviously I'm picking this one just because the cute teddy bear pen kind of thing. But also not gonna lie, I think I also did criticize the original, like, you know, the one with the heart-shaped eyeshadow pen from Dasique as well, the Valentine looking one. I felt that one looked kind of kiddie, and this one also might look kiddie to someone who is not like a fan of plush toys, or, you know, just be like, oh, is this kids makeup? What is this? That kind of thing. But I think between the two, the lip and cheek and the cheek palette itself, in terms of execution of the bear thing, I think I prefer the cheek one. For the eyeshadow palettes though, it's a little bit of a snooze fest, okay? I cannot deny it. Both the warm and the cool one, as much as I know that kbeauty is usually a wash of color, you know, there's like barely anything on your eyelids, this one just doesn't excite me at all. Granted, of course, the bear embossing is cute, but if I were to objectively look at the color palette itself, I would reach out for this going to the office. Very easy to throw on, I cannot deny it. But it's not exciting. It's not exciting at all. And tonally, it's stuck between like light, medium. The deepest brown color is borderline medium tan. It's not super deep dark either, and I prefer eyeshadow palettes when the darker shadow is deep enough for me to just, you know, have some wiggle room if I want to spice things up, make it more vampy, a little bit more dramatic. So yeah, the eyeshadow palettes doesn't excite me, but the cheek palette definitely does. I know Dasique is now available in Singapore, especially they have the stand itself. I believe in Takashimaya, if I'm not wrong. I've seen it before at Guardian. The big question is, will I survive if I don't own any of these items? I think the answer is yes. Etude has collaborated with boy group Rise. I am not too sure how to pronounce it. Honestly, I've lost touch with 4th, 5th gen K-pop groups. If I were to stand next to one right now, I would not be able to tell who is that. I'm still very much still stuck in 2nd gen K-pop. Anyway, this is their Not Bad collection, and they have 2 MBTEye eyeshadow palettes. They are hard blushes, 3 of them, 4 overglow tints, as well as 2 color-lasting glow sticks. I did get a couple of requests to try out their overglow tints, but honestly, there's so many lip tints right now on the market, and I cannot afford to buy and try every single one right now. So unfortunately, I did not get a chance to try that one out. The MBTEye palettes, I think this one actually looks quite interesting. The color story is a little bit more saturated, a little bit more different compared to traditional pastel oranges, pinks, corals. This one at least has some vibrancy to it. So the 2 colors that we have is, I think it's called PP Red, if I'm not wrong, PP Red, yeah. Okay, as well as the cool tone one that is OK Grey. I actually really like the grey one, obviously, like duh. I love the grey. I love the grey shades. It's so cool tone. There's something about that cool lavender purple right next to the pink. It looks good. But I do have to say that whoever edited the pictures in the Rise photo shoot really oversaturated it like a lot, because when I look at a separate video, the colors aren't as saturated and vibrant, doesn't pop as much as compared to the ones in the photo shoot. Someone did a poor job at, making the products look true to life, true to color. So I just want to point that out. I just wish this was kind of the norm for K-beauty brands, because most of the time they aren't as vibrant as this. I feel like PP Red, it gives me throwback to early 2017, 2018 makeup, but like in a good way. Because normally we don't see colors like this that is really, really warm. It also does give me a little bit of a Christmas vibe, so I guess it's also quite fitting for the end of the year release. I don't think this collection would reach physical stores in Singapore, because I think the stands at Watson's do not have enough space to hold this. It may or may not, I have no clue, but it's nice, it's pretty, but at the same time, I don't feel the hunger to actually own it. And then for the over glowy tints, we have 4 new shades. We have 08 Madder Red, number 9 Fake Red, number 10 Better Pink, and number 11 Betty Beige. These colors, again, reds are very, very fitting for the holiday season, Christmas, New Year Eve celebrations, that kind of thing. So I'm not surprised. I actually do like the packaging on the over glowy tints. They actually look really, really cute. However, I don't think I need any more lip tints. I genuinely don't need any more. My lip collection is going to explode anytime, and I'm running out of space. So I'm going to skip on this. If you guys have tried the over glowy tints, please let me know. How do you feel about it? I think the only recent glowy tint that I do have from Etude is probably the glow fixing tints, which I like, but I don't necessarily love. It's a nice lip tint. I do reach out for them, but it's just like I just don't say that this is my favorite. I'm bringing this out with me consistently. It does not live in my bag. The hard gel blushes are also worth a mention. There are 3 new shades. Lit Red Spirit, Ice Aurora and White Dolphin. Konglish, yes. I think out of the 3 shades, the Red Spirit is probably the one that is most interesting and unique, because it's obviously a shimmery blush with obviously red. This is red. It does look like it has that little putty texture as well, and it looks really like smooth to the touch, to be honest. That is beautiful. I think that Red Spirit one is beautiful. I see Aurora and White Dolphin. I mean, we have seen colors, shades like this. It's quite common. One is a little bit more icy white. The other one is a lavendery purple. So quite common, but the Red Spirit one, I think that's beautiful. And this costs 13,000 won, so about $13. I think $13 for a red blush in this economy, I think it's still acceptable. I'm really surprised to see that highlighters are making a comeback. I feel like I'm still recovering a little bit from 2016, 2017 post Becca Champagne Pop highlighter kind of situation. I do indulge in a little bit of highlighting from time to time on my cheeks currently, but I'm not going super ham like what I did in 2016 and 2017, where it's just like a stripe of highlighter over here. I have a little bit of a war flashback. Time for a lip touch-up. I feel like I was losing a little bit of color from talking so much. This one I'm wearing is actually a really affordable drugstore lip balm. It's from Lip Eyes, the Magic Color Lip Balm. This is in the shade Magic Color Rose Pink. I think I paid about $10, under 10 for this, and this is actually one of my first few lip balms that I owned when I was a kid. Not this exact shade, but it was like a reddish shade or something like that. I was, I don't know, 12 or 13. I had no business wearing lip balm, but hey, I wanted to be cute for a moment. Clio. Alright, they only have one new release so far. My gosh. Thank God, because the last time I filmed this, they had a lot of things just coming out left, right, center. I was like, okay, this is a lot. I feel like I was talking about Clio the entire time. They only have two new releases. So they did have this little essential eyeshadow tab. Is that what it's really called? They have released this triangular eyeshadow trio. And number 1 is Portable Beige, number 2, Rose Closer, number 3, Mauve Authentic. And then there are 6 lip and cheek pot products. Again, every brand under the sun is releasing a solid potted lip product that's lip and cheek usable. I think this whole 2024 is dominated by that particular makeup product. So I'm not surprised to see Clio actually doing one right now. Let's talk about the eyeshadow palettes. I think it is smart of Clio to actually do this. And as much as I complain and say that, oh my god, kbeauty is so boring, there's not enough pigmentation, there's not enough color, yada yada yada. This is really good for beginners or people who just are unaware or unsure of how to actually do their makeup. This is as basic as it gets. And the color story that they did give, granted it's a neutral. I assume that people who are starting off with makeup, they are starting off with neutrals. So it's up to the individual, whoever, purchases, whether they want to go for something that's a little bit more beige, a little bit more rosy, or something that's a little bit more purple. Now looking at the arm swatches, I must say that it's smart of Clio to have the formulas of the shadows, not either a flat matte, neither is it a high shine shimmer. Instead, all of the shadows have this velvety satin finish, somewhere in between of a shimmer and a flat matte. So it actually looks really, really good. I think it's smart of them to actually do that. So it still offers a soft shine to your eyelids without being extremely bam in your face kind of thing. And I think the 2 colors that I really like are number 1 and number 3. Portable Beige I think will look good on anyone, and it still has that little bit of muted grey tone to it, so that one actually looks really nice. Number 3, Mauve Authentic, only because I like purples. So I'm like, ooh, anything purple, just give it to me, right? It actually reminds me of another eyeshadow palette that I do own. This one from Sezane. Granted, it's not like 100% dupe or whatsoever, but you can see that there is some satiny, velvety shine to it. It's not a flat matte either, this whole quad. And I don't think it's 21,000 won. It's somewhere around maybe 13,000 won, like the retail price itself. It's a Sezane beige tone eyeshadow. It's in Japanese, but it's in number 5. So you can search that up. And yeah, for the equivalent of 13,000 won, you get a quad like this. So you get additional 1 more shades. The price point of this though, 3 eyeshadows for 21,000 won. $21 plus minus. When it's first released, I think by the time this video is up, it's over already. The price point is actually 13,900 won, so 1390. I think for 1390, it's acceptable, but for 21,000 won, I think that's quite pricey. I feel that, I don't know, makeup is just getting more and more expensive, and let's admit it, makeup is a luxury. I'm not looking down on anybody, but we gotta admit that not everyone can afford to get makeup, and I don't know, the makeup is just getting more and more expensive. I don't remember eyeshadow palettes being this expensive when I was getting into it, so I was like, okay, 3 eyeshadows, 21,000 won. In this economy, really? I have used Clio's eyeshadows before, the old one, the new one, or everything in between. And they're good quality. I can tell Clio's stuff is actually decent quality. It's not the cheapest, but it's pretty good. if it's at a price point of 21,000 won, I very much rather so ask the individual to like go and buy the Pro Eye Palette Air, which is the 12 pen one. I think that is so much more worth it than a trio of eyeshadow palettes. Maybe I'm just trying to girl math it. I don't know. And yes, it's the Pro Eye palettes are a little bit more expensive than this if I'm not wrong. But the color options that you get is so much more. So I don't think it's worth it for 21,000 won. But hey, who am I to say anything? If somebody just wants something that is basic, 3 eyeshadow, just, you know, slap it on and out the door, and this fits their requirements, then sure, go ahead. Makeup is such a personal preference thing, so this might be someone's favorite revolutionary eyeshadow, and it works for them. So I just hope that Clio doesn't start to have the audacity to make things smaller and charge even more, because if people are willingly going to buy this eyeshadow palette for 21,000 won, I'm not sure if they would start charging more for their other eyeshadow palettes, and low-key that kind of concerns me. And then from Clio, you have the Essential Lip Cheek. So you have 6 shades. Number 1, Peach Flush. Number 2, Bunny Blush. 3, Rosy Blow. Number 4, Fromberry. Number 5, Cherry Shower. And number 6, Apple Garden. I must say that the color story is quite typical from what you see from Clio. Like I said in my previous What's New in K-Beauty, a lot of Clio's color stories, especially for colored products, so like for blush, eyeshadow, lip products, they kind of stay in this realm of colors. They don't really deviate too far from it. You can tell that 1 to 3 is kind of neutral to warm leaning, while number 4 to 6 leans a little bit more cool tone. Maybe not 6. 6 could be a neutral red for all I know, but 4 and 5 definitely looks cool tone, and 1 and 3 looks warm tone. The finish of this lip and cheek product leans definitely more towards that sheer jelly lips, just, you know, bitten kind of look. High shine. So nowadays a lot of K-beauty brands, they release pot lip products, and if it's not a velvety matte finish, then it's something that it's high shine, shiny, glossy kind of look to it. It's kind of like picking your preference. Like, do you like a matte finish or something that is jelly, sheer shine kind of look? I don't think I'll be picking this up, because really, I do not need another potted lip product. I'm in the midst of, you know, trying out some potted lip product and putting it to the test. So I have enough on my hands. And on the note of potted lip products, Fwee has released a new type of lip product. It's called their Jelly Pot, and I think there's 19 colors. So again, amazing that they have released so many colors. They have the Juicy Sweet Moment and the Guilty Creamy Moment. And also there's one jelly highlighter, just one shade. The Guilty Creamy Moment and Juicy Sweet Moment, there are multiple shades, which I'm not gonna say all of them because I'll be sitting here rap-godding it for I don't know how long. But yeah, the colors look really nice, and I love the packaging of it. There's something about Fwee's packaging that they do really nicely. I really like the blurry pudding pots, glass, soft matte to the touch kind of look and feel to it. This one has more of like the transparent, glassy case to it, which, you know what, it actually does a really good job representing it. Do I need this? I don't think I need it, but I really am curious about it. Now, the glowy jelly pots are 20,000 won, so I think they are more or less on the same price point as the blurry pudding pots. Again, it's not cheap. Honestly, it's a little bit like up there. I would consider it to be mid-tier. So, one of my biggest gripe with more glowier cheek products is that because I always set down my makeup here in Singapore because of the humidity, if not, everything is gonna slide off, melt off. If I were to set this down with powder, it kind of defeats the purpose, right? Because by then the glow will be gone, and all I'm left with is the color itself, which, you know, the color can be pretty, but when you buy a product that is like a jelly or sheer or a glowy type of product, be it lip or cheek, you would want to see that glow on your face. And I know this comes on the heels of me criticizing the Clio lip and cheek product, but if I were to compare Fwee's one and Clio's one, between the two, I would actually go for Fwee's one because the colours that they offer are so much more like diverse. You can have a lot of variety, and also because I've already tried the Fwee Blurry Pudding Pot, so I kinda know how the jelly texture would kinda feel. Granted, it's not the same formula, it's not the same finish, but I would still go for the Fwee one. I might just get one just to try out first because I also don't want to commit and buy way too many shades and end up not liking a product, not using it, because at the end of the day, I am using my own hard-earned money to buy all of these makeup items. So we'll see how it goes. If you guys try it out, do let me know though how it works for you. They have a pop-up store in Busan right now. Oh my gosh. Man, I really want to go to Korea again. Part of me really wants to go back to Korea again, but unfortunately, I don't think I have the ability to do so. I think not right now. I think I already have plans for 2025, unfortunately, for like travel, so one day I'll go back to Korea, one day. Have you tried this before? Because I've seen so many people rave about it and I'm really, really curious. The Hince Raw Gel Glow Tints. Now they have released new shades. They have 5 new colors. Number 11 Chai, number 12 Raw Fig, number 13 Pink Pepper, number 14 Raw Cocoa, number 15 Bite. These 5 new shades are part of their Raw Crush collection, which I believe another boy group member is endorsing. Oh my god, who is this? Sung-hoon. I said it already, I feel like I'm gonna get cancelled. Oh my gosh. The color story and branding of this whole Raw Crush collection really looks very like edgy, cool, you know, that kind of thing for like winter. Normally this type of like concept pictures are quite common for beauty brands for their fall winter season. The only thing I've tried from Hince so far is a single eyeshadow from them. It's the Allure in Motion single eyeshadow. I think that one is quite alright. There's something about the shade Chai. It's like that nude beige kind of color. Something that I really appreciate because I do like a lot of kbeauty lip tints, but one thing I find that is not saying an issue, more like a preference thing, is that a lot of times they are really, really vibrant and saturated, even though they say it's muted. What I look for in a muted lip tint is something that has a little bit more of that greyish tone to it, or it sits really close to my natural lip color. This Chai shade looks really promising because I can really see the texture and natural skin color, nothing that's really whitewash to me at least. So I think this will actually be really nice to try out. Okay, I hope I'm not missing anything. If I am, I will put pictures, videos, clips over here for you guys to see. Sometimes when I edit these videos, you know, new makeup releases just drop, sneak peeks, teasers, all that kind of thing, it happens. So yeah, okay, are we done, Crystal? Yes? No? I hope so. Okay, thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. As always, let me know what's on your kbeauty wishlist. I love to chit chat with y'all down in the comments below. And I will see you guys in my next video, which you can check out over here.